Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at AIVA, a AI music generation software. This will be our first time looking at the software and trying to use all of its features and options and figure out what's possible and understand its limitations and kind of figure out where the use cases are. This video should be useful for people looking for the software to get a better understanding of how easy is it to understand the interface and how difficult or how easy it is to use the tool itself. And this will also be helpful for the developers. Get an insight as to what a user might feel like as they're going through and using the software. So let's get started. So right as you log in, you find yourself on the home dashboard, it looks like. The home dashboard has 3 different tabs here at the top. They're labeled compositions, generation profiles, and influences. Compositions, I think, is pretty obvious what it does, but I wouldn't mind a tooltip here explaining what is here or what should be here. So I'm guessing when you create a composition or a track, it'll be added here. The next tab is generation profiles. I don't entirely understand what this is. Again, I would like a tooltip here explaining what it is. But if I had to take a guess, I'm guessing that I'm going to be choosing a track or a song. And from this song or track, I'll be able to generate other songs that are similar to it. And then we have an influences tab. And I'm not sure what this is for or what it could be. But I do notice that these options here on this bar seem to change. So that might do something. Okay, let's look at the rest of the UI before moving on. So we have an aside menu over here with a bunch of different options. I'm guessing this will just take you to different pages. Then we have this text here at the bottom, which lets you know how many more downloads you have left. And then it looks like we have a player here at the bottom with a support chat over here. I wouldn't mind this support chat button being, maybe here in the aside menu or up the top, because I don't think the support chat has anything to do with the player, unless this support chat button has everything and only to do with the player. So if I don't understand what this player is doing, I click on support chat and this explains to me what this player is doing. Now, I don't know if that's the case. We'll get to it in a moment. But let's go ahead and continue with the homepage dashboard. One thing that's standing out to me right now is the create button. The green buttons that are on this page are labeled differently. This one says create track and this one says create. So I'm wondering if they do different functions. Let's go ahead and start there. I click on create. Oh, I get influence and folder. Okay. And when I go to generation profiles, does that also say? Okay. So the folders on every tab is going to give me a way to group the elements in there, and then the generation profile should be what this button will be creating. Then we have compositions, and the same thing is true. We have a compositions button and then a way to organize our compositions. So let's go ahead and create a composition. All right, so we get taken to a different page here. This page also has 3 tabs at the top. They read generation profiles, influences, and preset styles. Now, influences says drag and drop a MIDI or audio file here. So it looks like you'll be able to drag in a composition and then use that as a starting point. Only audio files containing valid music content and MIDI files formatted according to our guidelines will be correctly analyzed by AIVA. Interesting. So if they don't have a particular genre or style that you want to start from, I think you can just pull in your own composition and then start from there. Interesting. And they have a preset style. Okay, so instead of using this to generate a song, you can go to preset styles. And they give you two different views here. So currently it's on advanced view. What does emotional view do? You know what's weird? It says emotional view, but these aren't words that I would use to describe emotions. EDM, cyberpunk, house. These are more like genres or like types of sounds. It's not really an emotion. So I don't know why it's labeled emotional view. Yeah, these are just themes or styles of music. When I go to generate profiles, this seems to be the exact same thing, right? Meditation, EDM, techno. When I go to preset styles, and I go back to that quote unquote emotional view, I still have that same thing. Here's EDM, old school rap that we saw, meditation. So it looks like emotional view is the exact same thing as generation profiles. And then we have a way to search for a particular profile, and then we have filters. Let's see what filters are available to us. Okay, we can choose 8-bit, ambient, drum and bass, epic. So let's say I want a pop sound. And it gives us emotional pop, acoustic pop, drum and bass, love, fever, Roy. I don't have no idea what that is. Island funk. All right, let's listen to a few of these. We'll listen to like 2 or 3. Okay, that was interesting. The rhythm section sounded good, but that weird accent synth that just randomly comes in is misplaced. I don't know what that's all about. Let's try this one. All right, that doesn't sound bad. That sounds like a good starting point. All right, next one. Yeah, it's kind of groovy. All right, so it looks like the AI is able to give us a decent starting point. Now, I don't know if these were pre-made by AIVA, the development team. I don't know if they had a music team that created each one of these, or if they have their AI develop them. It'd be interesting to know. All right, so let's choose one of these. Let's just choose this one. We'll go ahead and hit create. Oh, and we're still not creating a song yet or a track. We are now generating a profile. We can designate a key signature, the duration of the song. Let's go about 3 minutes, like a regular song would be. And then we'll have 3 different options. Normally I'd go with 5, but let's just see what 3 does. I'd be interested to know in the variance in the song. Will they all sound very similar with slight variation, or will they be each its own unique sound? So right now we're just waiting for them to be generated, as demonstrated by this little clock or wheel. Let's go ahead and preview some of these while we wait for this one to generate. Okay, the first one is slow. Okay, interesting introduction. Let's go into the mid part. Okay, let's try a different song. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they are different in sounding. There's definitely a lot of variance between the two. And the last one. Okay, so the sound quality of each instrument is decent. It sounds, relatively good. Now, whether the melody or the rhythm section or the drum track individually are of good enough quality to want to use into a composition, that's completely different. There are some points in the song that sounds awkward or misplaced, but for the most part, it sounds like a good starting point. Now, let's say I like one of these. Now what? Now what do I do? Okay, so from here, I can download the track. I can save it to one of my favorites, it looks like. I can download, I can open in the editor, use as influence. I still don't understand what that is. I can share. I've already liked it. I can rename it, duplicate it, and I can move it to probably one of the folders that I've created, or I can delete it. I'm curious to know how I can edit this song. So let's say this song is pretty close to being usable. I just want to change a few things. Let's see what I can change. Open in editor. Okay, I can already see over here and move me to a different section from the aside menu. I'm no longer in the home. I'm now in, let's open this up. Okay, so I'm now in the editor. Wow, this looks like a music composition and editing software, like FL Studio or Pro Tools or something. So I can see here the melody, the chords, the bass. Okay, I can enter comments. I can change the tempo. I can change the melody, I'm guessing. How easy is it to change the melody? What does this button do? Copy automation to all other layers. What does this do? To turn it off and on? I don't see it doing anything. Oh, I can no longer play it. Playing back audio in real time is incompatible with your browser. In order to use this feature, you got to download an app. Okay. So for our purposes, this is a problem because we're talking about two different type of consumers here. Your average Joe, your music enthusiast, your blogger, your YouTuber, those type of people are not going to want to get into the intricacies of how to build a song, much less downloading an app and learning how to use all of its features. So this is probably already an issue, but for those classically trained musicians and music producers, this is probably going to be really good for you, as you'll have a lot more granular control as to how your song is customized and how it sounds. So depending on what kind of person you are, you're either going to be happy about this or you're going to be sad. I would imagine that having this as a feature is a plus, right? Because if you don't want to go through the hassle of customizing, I'm pretty sure you can just hit generate, keep generating songs, over and over and gamble until you hit something that's usable. But if you've already found a good starting point and you just need to tweak a few things, this sounds like it'd be a great spot to be in. Now, I'm not going to go through over all of these different features as it'll probably take a lot of time. It'll probably need its own video to be able to go through all of these. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and discard the changes and go back to where we were. Let's see if it takes us back to the home. Oh, it does not. Okay. So let me see if I can go back to the home so I can look at the track again. So we were on this track here. All right. Is there just a way to keep generating new profiles, or do I have to constantly go to create? I think I have to constantly go to create. So what if I add this as a generation profile and then make more tracks that sound like this one? Use as influence. Okay, that's fine. So there is no generation profiles, but there is influence track. Okay, now can I generate songs from this? Rename, move to, and delete. Okay, let's go to create. Can I choose this influence? Oh no, I have to hold on. Use an existing influence. I have an existing influence. Oh no, I do not have an existing influence. Well, what do I have then? Hold on, how do you go back? Yeah, I'm under the influences tab. There's clearly an influence here. I should be able to create something from here. Should I not? Create, influence, use an existing influence. I have to upload one first. That is interesting. Okay, and then generation profiles goes back to that menu, and then preset styles. Okay, so I don't understand. What's the purpose of adding a track to the influences tab if I can't use it? I'm a bit confused here. There's something I don't understand. So if I wanted to create more songs within that style, I guess I have to go back to compositions and go to create, go to composition. And I don't remember which one I chose. I think it might have been bedroom pop, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm guessing I'd go back to here, create, and remember all the same presets I chose last time to create or to generate more tracks that sound the same. Essentially just, roll the dice again to generate another song or another set of songs that sound similar. That sounds like a lot of work. I must not be understanding everything correctly. All right, let's try the different settings here. So we have presets here, and the quote unquote emotional view has more options here. But this again seems like the generations profile tab. So maybe we just stick to this advanced tab here. Let's just go to, I don't know. Oh, let's try tango. What does that sound like? Okay, backing track without melody or a song with a melody. Okay, let's say we want a song with a melody. We can select a key signature. For your average person, they're probably not going to know what key signature they want to be in. So again, this is probably for your more advanced user, someone that is musically and classically trained, or a music producer. Auto time signature, again, your average person is not going to know this. Auto pacing, same thing. You can kind of get an understanding, though, of whether you want a song to be slow, medium, or fast. So that's not too difficult to understand. Let's go fast. Auto. Instrumentation. Okay, so you get to choose from a few presets here, whether you want a symphonic orchestra, a small tango band, or a piano solo. Let's go small tango band. The duration, let's just go 1.5 to 2 minutes, and let's get all 5 compositions. Include tempo variations. Sure, why not? Include percussion only for ensemble that support it. Okay, so you can choose whether you want percussion or not, and include whether you want different tempos or not. Within the range, because I've selected fast, so it's within the range of 120 to 140. Okay, let's go and create our tracks. Okay, so we've generated a few more compositions. Let's go ahead and have a listen to a few of these. Okay, next one. Interesting. Okay, the sound sounds very empty, like it's lacking instruments, but we did choose a small tango band. So that might be our fault. I'm not familiar with too many tango songs. I'm not sure if these generated tracks are a great starting point or not, but it does sound a bit empty. So I'd like to compare what the full orchestra sound would have been. Go back to create, compositions. I believe we were in the advanced mode. We were maybe here. Okay, key signature, I believe we chose any. Time signature was any. This was fast. Instrumentation, okay. Instead of small tango band, let's go for symphonic orchestra. The duration, I think we have it 1.5 minutes. And again, 5 different tracks we want to create. Okay, let's hear what the differences are from the instrumentation set to small tango band and a symphonic orchestra. Okay, we're done generating our 5 tracks. It took about 1 minute, so not too long. And let's go ahead and take a listen to some of these tracks. Oh, what a difference. Oh, what a difference from the small band or the small ensemble to the symphonic orchestra. What a difference. Okay, for some reason, the synth sounds on this generator have the main just turned up all the way. It hurts. So they might want to look into that. Let's listen to the next one. There's that synth again. Okay, I think I've heard enough. All right, well, there's definitely a difference between the small tango band and the symphonic orchestra. The sound sounds fuller, obviously, because there's more instruments, but just the overall sound, there's less like spaces within the song. It sounds more developed. So that's good. I guess you're going to have to play around with the fact that there are the presets where you can either add more instruments or remove more instruments. One thing I will say that is a little disappointing is if I want to keep generating more songs and just play around with the presets and just test different things out, the process does seem a little lengthy. I have to go to create, I have to go to compositions, then I have to choose the same style. Then I have to remember what presets I had. Doesn't save them. So I have to write them down so I can compare. And then I can try different things out. And then I hit create tracks. And then it takes me back to the page where the tracks are stored here. Then I have to wait for them to load. And then I have to compare the different sounds and then choose one. That seems like a lot of steps. I don't know if that's necessary. If there's a way to kind of reduce the amount of steps, or maybe even keep them on the same page so I can very quickly just adjust a few things, click generate, and then it just generates them here. Like, for example, yeah, it doesn't show the options here. I was thinking, so I have a track here. It'd be nice to be able to just like select a bunch of tracks and then just change one thing about them and then hit generate. So let's say I really like how the C minor is sounding. If I could select the ones that are not in C minor and then just change them to C minor and see what they sound like. Or all the small tango ones, select all of those and go, wow, that didn't sound good at all. I want them all in symphonic orchestra. Select them all and then change it to symphonic orchestra. There's no way to quickly change a particular thing about the song and then generate something new. So that process is a bit lengthy. The generation profiles, I still don't quite understand what it's for. Same thing with the influences. So if I have to think too much, I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. So the editor is a nice feature. I know that people interested in that will definitely use it. Generation profile, again, it's just taking you to the tab here from the home menu, which is actually quite interesting why it's over here on the side menu. So if you're on the home page, oh no, look. It has the little blue tracker, the little indicator here showing that you're on the home page. But when I clicked on generate profile, it takes you to the home page. It just takes you to the second tab. Interesting. Okay. Then there's achievements. And achievements are what? Just kind of your progress within the software. I'm not sure how important this would be. If people would even want this. Create 100 compositions. It's interesting. I just don't know if this is going to be useful. It could be fun for some people. I don't know. To me, it seems like not many people are going to be caring about this section here. Now, what is radio? Select the station below to listen to a song playlist of music. Okay, so instead of listening to like Apple Music or iTunes or Pandora or whatever, I can come here and listen to songs that have been generated by AIVA or by people. Let's take a listen. Let's try, let's listen to something different. Chinese music. What do we got? Okay, so it adds it down here to the player, and I'm just waiting for it to play. Looks like we're having some difficulties. We'll have to wait until the song starts. Okay, switching to Jazz Lounge. Okay. So I'm interested in how many people would actually use this. It's a radio, so I don't know if this music is copyrighted or not. So you wouldn't be, downloading it or using it. Wait, what if I heard something I like? Can I add it to my influences or anything? It doesn't look like it. You can like it. What will that do? Can I go to my homepage and then find that song on there? No, I do not find it on here. What about on these extra tabs? Oh, it stopped playing. It kept playing when I was on the home, but the second I went to a different tab, it stopped playing. Oh, I think this is what it's for. I thought maybe you'd be wanting to play this as a background noise while you did other things, but maybe you're supposed to be playing this while you're playing with the software. Or maybe not, because when I went to generation profiles, it stopped. Okay, that might not be the case. Yeah, I'm not sure what radio is in for. Because wouldn't you just turn the radio on? I guess you have ads. Well, then why don't you just use one of the Spotify or Amazon Music or whatever? Like, why would you be using this? Because I'm assuming all of these songs are going to be unfamiliar. Maybe you just want some background music in a style, but you don't want people to know what the song is. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the radio section would be for, or what people would use it for. Let's move on along to billing. Oh, the song is still playing. Interesting. Okay, we're going to have some background music for this. So we have this free forever plan for beginners who want to use compositions for non-commercial use cases only. And don't mind giving credit to AIVA. Okay. So you'll be able to use the song in your projects, but you must give attribution, right? You got to write down that the music was made by AIVA, is copyrighted and owned. Hey, let me go ahead and turn this off. So the song is copyrighted and owned by AIVA. You can't monetize the song. That makes sense. Credit must be given to AIVA. So you must label somewhere on the composition that AIVA was the one that created it. You get 3 downloads per month. This is good for just trying things out. You get 3-minute durations or up to, and you can download it in either MP3 format or MIDI format. Okay, that's a great starting point where you're just trying to figure out, is this something you want to pay for and use? Now, the standard monthly plan is recommended for content creators who want to monetize their compositions only on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. Okay, now, this is interesting. So whenever you compose a song, you can only monetize it on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. So you can't monetize it for anything else, which is interesting. The copyright is still owned by AIVA. So you have limited monetization. No need to credit AIVA. So you can say that you created it, but you don't own the copyright to it. That's interesting. You get $15 a month, up to 5 minutes per song, with influences up to 3 minutes. And again, you can download it in the 2 selected formats. This is interesting. I'm not sure if your content creators would be excited by not having and owning the copyright. Maybe that's an additional fee. But for $50 a month, this is recommended for creators who want to own the copyright of the compositions. Okay. So the copyright is owned by you, full monetization, so you can do whatever you want with it. You don't need to create an AIVA at that point. You get 300 downloads per month. I don't know that someone's making 300 songs per month, but I mean, fine. 5-minute songs with influences, and you could download in all formats and export highway files. So it seems that you want to do the $50 per month. The fact that you can really create your own unique music because of that editor might be worth it, but I don't know. I'd have to ask a content creator. I assume they're not going to get anywhere near 300 downloads per month. Maybe in the 10s to 20s, but I don't see 300. That is a lot of time spent. The fact that you can monetize this on whatever platform you want is good. And the fact that you don't have to give AIVA credit is also good, but you don't need to give credit on this one as well. So I guess if you're someone just starting out, you'd want to use the free plan. Then if you want to monetize a song, you'd pick this one up. And then if you don't want any type of limitations on where you use the content and how you monetize it, then you'd pay for the pro. But then you got to make sure that the money that you're bringing in from that song needs to be in excess of $50, right? You don't want to break even or even go in the red. So you got to have to determine for yourself if it's worth it. For $15 a month to be able to generate an additional 12 songs, I don't know if it's worth it. If you're not looking to monetize anything, obviously the free plan is just good enough. If you're looking to monetize a little bit here and there, I guess $15 isn't that bad. It's not going to set you back that month. Okay, and this is the monthly plan. So if you go to annual, oh, there we go. It goes to $11 a month, but you've already committed to 1 year. Okay, so you really need to be sure that this is a platform for you. But now I'm thinking, if you have this, if you sign up for a year, are you really going to be making 15 new songs every single month for a year? Maybe if you're a producer, and then 300 downloads per month. What are you making over 3,000 songs, unique songs that monetize every year? I mean, maybe if you're a music producer that are doing just this for a living, maybe. So it looks like each plan is created a specific type of individual. You know, there's not really an overlap on who would use this. There's a lot of work that goes into each plan. Then over here at the bottom, it has a few frequently asked questions. Should I get rid of AIVA? Do you offer student discounts? What are the terms of license? Okay, all this information is good here. I'll let you read it as well. Okay, then we go to updates. So you know what's new in every version. That's kind of cool. A community if you want to talk to people on Discord, tutorials. That's really important. I have not yet seen an AI music generation software that includes tutorials. Some of them should and don't. So that's really nice that they have it here. And then the download to the app. You do need the app if you want to edit the songs and preview it in real time. There is a little bit of confusion on what some of these tabs do. There is confusion as to what generate profiles are and influences are. It's a little bit sad that I'm not able to preview the songs in real time here in the editor, but it's not the biggest deal, as you can just download it if you're willing to go the extra mile to fully customize your song. It's a little bit weird that when I hit on generation profile, it takes me back to the homepage just within this tab. Maybe the reason why they did this is because a lot of people click on this link or this tab and you need it readily available. If that's not the case, I don't know why you would have it here. If anything, just make it like a sub menu and just put each one of these tabs here to make it a little bit more obvious as to why it's going to the homepage after clicking generation profile. The compositions tab is pretty easy to understand. I'm a little disappointed that you're not able to further customize the songs very easily here. You'll have to remember your last presets, so that could be changed. The button here was a little bit confusing at the beginning, as when you click on create, you can create a composition. But when you go over here, it's create tracks. I'm wondering why there's a difference in verbiage. I understand here why it changes depending on what tab it is, because you're going to be creating a different element. So this one, you'll be creating a composition. Here, you'll be creating a generation profile. And here, you'll be creating a influence. So that makes sense to me. But why this is create track, when I click on it, I think, okay, maybe this is to create something completely different. I'm not going to be creating a composition, a profile, or an influence. I'm going to be creating a track. So maybe that's something different. And when I clicked on it, it didn't take me somewhere new. It took me to the preset styles, which is the same place you would get to if you click create on compositions, create composition, you go to the same place. So yeah, that was a little bit interesting. I do enjoy having the little feature here where you can get more real estate on your screen by just closing it down. And the fact that this changes 0 to 3, that's kind of cool. So you know how many songs you have available to download. That's kind of cool. The player is pretty easy to understand. Nothing crazy there. So overall, I would say tweaking how to generate songs could be a little bit better. I don't have to do so much backtracking, so much work to generate more songs within the same theme. I would also like to be able to create music based on a description, like moods or feelings. I was disappointed when you came here to compositions and you went to create and you got to this point when you went to emotion view. I really wanted these to be like a selection of descriptive words, like epic sounding. So we have epic, but orchestral. So it's like a mood plus a theme. I want them to be separate. I want to choose a theme or choose a style of music and then give it an emotion. So maybe pop, but then I want a sad or melancholy, or I want something whimsical, a pop song, but that is overly energetic, or you know what I'm saying? You want to choose a style of song and then give it a mood, and you're not able to do that. So for your regular person just looking to have a song and then do something with it in one of their projects, I would imagine that that's how they would like to start, and it'd be the easiest to start. Maybe even for music producers. I'm not entirely sure, but it seems very intuitive to create a song that way. So I would like to see that. Yeah, I think that's basically it. I think overall, this is a really great starting point. You're able to do exactly what it says. You're able to generate a song really quickly, and you're able to download it really easily. And should you like it, then you can go ahead and pay it, and then get the rights to be able to monetize. You know, use it in those projects on YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that, and be able to earn money. So it seems like a good software. I think people will definitely pick this up and use it. Again, those few tweaks that I recommended, if they were done, this would probably be one of the go-to, if not the best software I've seen. But without them, there is another competitor I think that might be a little bit better, one step ahead. But this is definitely up there in the top 5 best softwares out there. This is fantastic at its current point, and it can only get better. I don't know how old it is in its development cycle, so hopefully they hear some of these criticisms, and maybe other people have said the same thing, and then maybe they incorporate it, maybe not. Maybe I just don't fully understand the certain features and how to use it yet. And if I watch some of those tutorials, maybe I'll grasp it a little more. But this is just, my initial impressions and how I use it from someone who's never been on AIVA before. So you can kind of see my thought process and how I would use it, and how I would go to the different sections and what I think should happen on those sections. So I hope you would enjoy this. I hope this gives insight to a person just wanting to generate a song, and you want to know, how difficult is it to make a song? What can I do with the song? What rights? How much does it cost? So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and up and subscribe. Write a comment down the bottom if you'd like me to go over anything different. If you want me to watch a tutorial and then come back again and try it. If you want me to create a video on the editor, anything else, please add it in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.